Before my humility turned to pride. Life sure wasn't so great when I didn't have any speech lessons. What makes a good joke? My speech impediment was something that limited how I could communicate with others.
I know you. Do you remember me, Belle?
Looking back now, I had no idea who the bastard was.
Mond.
But I couldn't even tell him that.
This is the son of this hotel's owner.
You mean old Robert Robertson?
That's right. Robertson's son. Robert.
Say that again?
Isn't that right, son? Don't you remember me? Your good pal Henry. Tell me anyways, Bobby. How's your father?
Bobby, who's this man behind you?
Please don't say anything.
You're too young to be a Robert Senior.
I'm Bobby's translator.
What do you mean, translator?
Bobby can surely speak English. We were talking to him the whole time.
Back then, I didn't even know my favorite word. Never mind was I introduced to the world of the English language. But I have a speech impediment.
I have a speech impediment.
And there it is. But really, in that moment, I was really embarrassed. I was humiliated. And most of all, I was incredibly alone. Even in a place flooded with people. And in a way, I think that I was just jealous of almost anyone. Because they could speak normally. That was one of my biggest wishes, as well as being a comedian.
Bobby, wait up. Bobby, you have to stop this sensitivity towards other people.
I had always been sensitive towards people, even those that were trying to help me.
Now, Bobby, can you please tell me what you can read from this bottom line?
Bitch, bastard, bullshit! And after that day, I had never returned to the opticians, and my prescription had weakened a lot worse.
It's what's making it so much more worse for you. I'm sure that there's lots of people who would want to be pals with you, Bobby.
But oh boy, I didn't want to listen to a word that he had to say.
I'm telling you, it's only bad because you're making it that way for yourself.
How to be hilarious. Episode 1. Being a hilarious fix for an audience requires many initial rules. Make sure that you have each of these key features in order to continue with this guide. The first rule on how to be hilarious is to have a clear voice.
Bobby bump beep boo.
Stop feeling sorry for yourself and grow up here.
And he was right about that, 100%.
I'm tired of your crap, Bobby. I'm not your therapist.
And that too.
I don't know, Bobby. You need to put yourself out there. That's right. Your father is hosting the open mic tomorrow night.
And that's where it all began. Father would be embarrassed because of me.
Oh, come on, Bobby. I'll be there. Right beside you. They'll love you, Bobby. They'll love your jokes. And you've plenty of great jokes. What was that one again? I was laughing so hard once I had finally got it.
What? What makes a good book?
That's right. What makes a good... See, they'll love it, Bobby, really. You're hilarious.
If you vapor.
Great. Just great. It's at 9 p.m. tomorrow. I'll come here before then. Okay. I'll leave you to get some rest.
"8:30 p.m. 30 long minutes.
Bobby, this suit will make you look great in the spotlight.
I was so exhausted that the nerves hadn't even set in yet.
You're gonna be a star, Bobby. Good. Deep breaths, Bobby. I believe in you. Have you got all your jokes planned out?
Yes.
Alright. Let's get on with the show.
There little Bobby was, going through each line of his jokes in his head, bouncing back and forth in between ways of delivery, tone, and
15 minutes. Should I get you a drink?
it felt warmer than usual that night. It was really beautiful what my father had done around there, but I hadn't realized it was at the time. I didn't realize how special it was to have a commune of all sorts of people, on top of the exceptional atmospheres of music, bourbons, sparkly dresses, and...
Would you like to order any food?
Oh, we're fine. Thank you.
Okay.
second rule on how to be hilarious is to favor the outgoing aspect of your personality.
Throw one at me. Come on. Give me just one joke.
What makes a good book?
I don't know. What makes a good joke? What are you doing here, Bobby? You never come here. Evening, Robert. Nice to see you again. Bobby and I were just waiting for the open mic to begin. Bobby's going to be telling some jokes on the stage. I'll be translating. My penny for helping his confidence, sir. Alright, okay. Don't let him drink. Don't let him embarrass me, okay? I'll be introducing him as my son. How many more minutes are left?
Two long minutes. At that point, I think that the translator was sweating more than I was. One long minute. And in that long minute, I was somewhat saved. Yes, the translator did look very funny. But what made it hilarious was that little Bobby was now drunk.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's 9 p.m. on a Saturday night. I think you know what that means. We'll be introducing a warm welcome to the boy who only speaks in bees.
Let's get little Bobby over and done with.
Third rule on how to be hilarious is to have a strong sense of confidence.
There was something about it. Maybe the warm candles flickering from each table, lighting up every soft face of the audience. How I felt like I was shining like a star against the gold and yellow streamers. Or maybe how I felt like at that very moment, I had just fit into that purple suit. Little Bobby had just discovered his pride. Hello. I'm the boy who only speaks in bees.
Hello, I'm the boy who only speaks in bees.
Bife, that is speech impediment by Bo Bife.
I've had this speech impediment my whole life.
Every country, every place, the bees that followed me everywhere.
In every country, every place, these bees have followed me everywhere.
The bees? Where? Where?
A bee, where? Ah.
It was like a dream. All I had ever wished for my whole life. For people to adore me. I realized that I could mask who I truly was by lying about my self-hatred in order to please those in front of me, making my speech impediment sound all the more light-hearted and easy to laugh at.
Walking in bees has never been a problem for me.
Talking in bees has never been a problem for me.
In fact, by the bay, by beach impediment, it makes me more cryptic. I think I would make a great buy.
In fact, I would say I love my speech impediment. It makes me all the more cryptic. I think I would make a great spy.
Because if I was never about hostage, they wouldn't let a bird about Bobby.
Because if I was ever held hostage, they wouldn't get a word out of me.
What's been the briefcase? Bros. What? Bros. What the bros?
What's in the briefcase? Bros? What? Bros? What are bros?
What makes a good book?
What makes a good joke?
I'm afraid that's all the time this gig has for tonight. Give it up for the boy who only speaks in bees.
Those cheers echo my thoughts, even till this day. I can remember every face, every table, the way each of them had clapped, the way they had looked at me with their smiles and... But that's impossible. I'm standing right here. I'm real. I'm solid. Then how am I? Come on. No.
Bobby, what's wrong? Where are you going?
I am going to find myself. All I could do at that point was think about what had just happened. Right in front of my eyes. Something that nobody else around me or in the audience had seemed to notice. It was only phenomenal to I. But should I have been terrified or excited? Hiding or chasing? Crying or laughing? And the truth is that whilst looking at the audience, I was truly in love. The warmth of their cheering, brushing past my skin, felt as soft as feathers. And the sound of their clapping was like music that made me feel like dancing. At any time, I replay that moment inside my head. Little Bobby was obsessed more than anything. And for that moment to be ruined by none other than the one thing that he hates the most in this world. Himself. Now, he was heartbroken.
Fuck.
There. Right there. Right at that very moment. I had my first word. I couldn't believe it. It was seriously a dream come true. It was the best night of my life. I didn't know whether to blame the thick blood running down my back or my sudden condition of tinnitus. Was it real? Fuck. Translator, I can speak now. Come on. Don't be like that with me. There were still some words that little Bobby couldn't say, but it was still better than nothing. And at this point, he had also forgot about finding himself.
Okay, let's celebrate. I'll order a few Robbins. All right? Just a moment.
The whole room deathly quiet. At first, I thought that everybody was judging me. But then I had seen that their heads were facing the stage, where my father was standing. His lips bordering a smile. They were as stiff as his body, likewise everyone else in the room. At first, I didn't know what to conclude from this. I was experiencing the strangest night to ever take place. They were really frozen in time. Not a wink. I was finally throwing away those bees. And I could do anything I wanted. heart is in the head. The heart is in the head. The heart is in the head. And after waking up, I thought that I must have had the strangest dream. But I realized it wasn't whenever I found myself laying on the cold floor instead of my bed. Boy, I could do it all over again. And I did, day by day, until each of them blended into one another. I didn't even care to count them. I was having the time of my life. But little Bobby had forgotten just one thing. Can everyone be quiet, please? I would like to record some interior ambience noise for my upcoming project.
The fourth rule on how to be hilarious is to be yourself.
That was the problem. That even after all this time, all the pride that had obscured my dark thoughts, I was still alone. Even in a place flooded with people, and there was no way to fix that. Unless... You're me. I'm not quite you. I'm Bobby Robertson, not Bobby Bobertson. And I will be soon enough. Once I get the pronunciation right. No, you won't. Because that's who you are, Bobby Bobertson. That's what you've been for your whole life. What is it that you want, exactly? I know what it's like to be a stranger to yourself. The heart is in the head. I am your head, but not your heart. I want to get you out of this noumenal mess. I want to give you speech lessons. That sounds good. There are 2 conditions, however. You have to promise me to swallow your pride, as well as those bees. It is no essence to become somebody greater than who you are. And this Saturday night, in which your obscured pride couldn't stop this confrontation of your head, will be the greatest phenomenal lesson of your life, in which you will never associate with those actions that are astray from who you truly are. You are no longer a stranger if you accept who you truly are, and that is how your heart will no longer be in your head, as you will swallow your pride. What's the second condition? When I teach you your speech lessons, you are not to ask me how to say Robertson. This is the only word that will remain the same in your vocabulary. Okay. When do we get started on the lessons? Now, lesson 1, consonants. Now everything has gone back to normal, and I can speak to the translator, my father, or anyone without feeling any shame like I would have before.
What's with the sudden change of mind, Bobby?
And that's the story of how little Bobby became Bobby Bobertson, and how his attempt at pride got smashed before it had hardly started, because Bobby was a stranger to even himself.
The 5th and final important rule on how to be hilarious is to focus on the 3 main aspects of what makes a good joke. These consist of delivery, tone, and